Summary of The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler. The Big Sleep is a classic hard-boiled detective novel written by Raymond Chandler. Set in Los Angeles during the 1930s, the story introduces Philip Marlowe, a private investigator hired by the wealthy and aging General Sternwood. The novel is a complex tale of deceit, corruption, and murder, filled with twists and morally ambiguous characters. The story begins when Marlowe is summoned to the Sternwood mansion. General Sternwood, a frail and sickly man, wants Marlowe to investigate and resolve a blackmail attempt involving his youngest daughter, Carmen Sternwood. A man named Arthur Gwynne Geiger claims Carmen owes him money, and he has compromising information to use against her. While Sternwood hires Marlowe to handle the blackmail, he also hints at the mysterious disappearance of his son-in-law, Rusty Reagan, though he does not explicitly ask Marlowe to find him. As Marlowe begins his investigation, he quickly discovers that the Sternwood family is riddled with secrets. Carmen is portrayed as a flirtatious and reckless woman with a penchant for trouble, while her older sister, Vivian, is shrewd and secretive. Marlowe's inquiries lead him to Geiger's bookstore, which is revealed to be a front for a pornography racket. While surveilling Geiger's house, Marlowe hears gunshots and discovers Geiger dead, with Carmen drugged and incoherent at the scene. Geiger's body disappears shortly after, adding another layer of mystery to the case. Marlowe delves deeper into the criminal underworld, encountering a cast of morally ambiguous characters, including Joe Brody, a small-time crook connected to Geiger, and Eddie Mars, a powerful and manipulative gambler with ties to the Sternwoods. Mars's involvement suggests a broader conspiracy, and Marlowe uncovers connections between Mars, Geiger, and the missing Rusty Reagan. Vivian Sternwood's behavior also becomes increasingly suspicious, as she seems to be protecting secrets of her own. The plot thickens when Marlowe confronts Joe Brody, who confesses to stealing Geiger's blackmail materials. However, before Marlowe can piece everything together, Brody is murdered by Carol Lundgren, Geiger's lover and henchman, in an act of misguided revenge. Marlowe apprehends Lundgren and turns him over to the police, but the case remains far from resolved. As Marlowe continues his investigation, he uncovers Eddie Mars's involvement in a scheme to cover up Rusty Reagan's disappearance. Vivian Sternwood appears to be entangled in Mars's machinations, raising questions about her loyalty and motivations. Mars uses his influence and criminal network to manipulate those around him, but Marlowe's persistence and wit gradually expose the truth. The novel reaches its climax when Marlowe discovers the shocking reality of Rusty Reagan's fate. It is revealed that Carmen Sternwood, in a fit of jealous rage, murdered Reagan. General Sternwood's request for discretion and his failing health explain why the truth was suppressed, as Vivian Sternwood worked to conceal her sister's crime. Marlowe ultimately confronts Vivian, who confirms the details but pleads for her father's peace of mind, knowing that the truth would devastate him. Despite unraveling the mystery, Marlowe is left disillusioned by the corruption and moral decay he encounters throughout the case. The novel ends on a somber note, with Marlowe reflecting on the futility of justice in a world driven by greed and power. His character embodies the archetype of the hard-boiled detective, navigating a morally ambiguous world with a sense of duty and personal integrity. The Big Sleep is not only a gripping detective story, but also a commentary on the human condition, exploring themes of corruption, loyalty, and the blurred lines between right and wrong. Chandler's vivid descriptions, sharp dialogue, and complex characters make the novel a cornerstone of the noir genre and a timeless classic in crime fiction.